Hi, welcome to Talk Back Live, a show that gets you involved in live conversation and sports with Brian Camp on Sports Update, bringing you the latest developments in today's world of sports. And now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a pleasant night to each and every one of you out there wherever you are in your different time zones around the world and across the country. We are here for another Thursday. It's 8 p.m. on the East Coast, 5 p.m. on the West Coast. It's 1 a.m. in London. There's a Friday morning over there. Also, there's a Friday morning in Tokyo, Japan at 9 a.m. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Talk Back Live. We meet every Thursday at this time. We get together, and those of you who are in the loop each week, you know what we're all about, right? So we don't have to explain too much to you. I just want to take time to talk to the new people who are coming in. And every once in a while, we get new people coming in, and we just want to get acquainted. We want them to get acquainted with us. So here's how it goes, guys. Every week we come on at this time, and whatever time zone that you're in right now, look at your clock, because that's what time we come on in your area. And we come on and we have a little conversation, and we join in conversation. And of course, what I want to do is throw out the conversation to get things started. And as I do that, you can join in at any time you like by using your keyboard on your computer, on your telephone, and even on your tablet, right? Just let us know what you want to talk about. Type it in. I'll see you right there on the big screen, and I will entertain all of that for you. You may want to talk about something in particular. That's okay too. We will entertain everything that you want to talk about. We don't care. We talk about everything here. And if you want to just chime in at any time, you can do that as well. And even if you don't want to talk about anything, a lot of people like to sit back and relax and just watch the show and be what they call the passive viewer, which is okay by me as long as you're out there. And whatever time you could spend with us, even if it's not the whole hour, whatever time you could spend with us, we really would appreciate that. And even if you just want to say hi or anything you want, and other people will come out too. They'll see you out there too, and you can talk to them as well as talk to me and talk to everybody else in here. If you're just joining us for the first time, you ought to know that we're here on 3 different outlets. We're live on Facebook, we're on YouTube, and live on Instagram as well. So I want to say hi to each and every one of you who are just joining us right now. Howdy, howdy, howdy to all of you. And if you're watching us on Facebook, take the opportunity right now to tag the show to your friends. I know a lot of you have friends on your Facebook cover, your Facebook page. Use those friends. Maybe not all, maybe you have too many. We're just the chosen few you want to use. That's okay. All you have to do is just tag them. Tag the show. When they see that notification, they'll know it's from you. And all they'll have to do is just click onto that notification, and it automatically brings them here to our show. And they can be part of this too. And if they like what they hear, and if they like what they see, of course, maybe they'll become full-fledged members just like you. For those of you who are watching us on YouTube, well, I always say, and always encourage you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Sure, you can do that. And you can do that right now as we speak. And all you have to do is just take your mouse, drag your mouse over there where it says, you see it right there at the bottom, or wherever you see it right there. And it says subscribe. Click onto that button, subscribe. It won't blow up, I promise you. But what it will do is give you the opportunity to know once you're on and you're a member, it gives you the opportunity to know when we come on live. For instance, if let's say, for instance, next week, right? You're on the computer at this time and you're working on something and you forgot all about the show. Well, we remind you. You'll see the pop-up. You'll see it come up there, and all you have to do is click on to it, and it'll bring you right here directly to us. And even if we so much as post a video, you'll get notification too. That's the whole idea of having you as a member. So we would like you to like us, and we would love you to also subscribe to us. And for the rest of you who are watching us on Instagram, we thank you so much for being along with us as well. Instagram, you've been a big help with us. And of course, just to continue to tell your friends and your family about us, keep them abreast of what's going on. And of course, again, if they like what they see and they like what they hear, or still become members just like you. And we'll be one big happy family, because that's what we try to project here, one big happy family. And there's no fear of embarrassment. And we do a real clean show. We want this to be a family show, providing you're over 18 years old. If you're under 18, you got to be supervised by your parents. That's the whole idea. But anyway, we thank you so much for being along with us. And in conjunction with all of what I said, later on in the program, we have normal things that we do here, right? For instance, in just a few minutes from now, in this particular half hour, we're going to link up from New York to Charlotte, North Carolina, because Brian Camp will be along with us. And he has a show on this show called Sports Update. It brings you the latest developments in today's world of sports. He'll be here. And if you have any questions related to sports, or if you want to talk to him while he's doing what he's doing, or after he's doing what he's doing, he could linger here and talk to you as well. And of course, you may have sports related questions. There's so many good things happening in sports. Baseball, it's in full swing. Before you know it, we've got football back in town, but until that day comes, we're going to wait around for that. But in the meantime, it's all baseball, and you've heard about all the soccer's playing and everything else, all of those great, he'll talk to you more about it when he comes in. He'll talk more about it. And then, of course, you have further questions, of course, you can always ask him. Also, later in the program, we have a little ditty. It's a little ditty. I sound like a disc jockey. I guess the disc jockey guy is still in me. But we have a little thing that we call, we take the time to do it each week. We call it This Day in History. And whatever happened on this day in history, on this day, the 27th of July, something special happened. We're going to relay all of that to you. And later on, before the show is over, also we have what we call the movie selections, that we select movies, my picks of the week from Turner Classic Movies. Now, a lot of you may be doing something on the weekend, or you desire something on the weekend to do, outdoor barbecues, or whatever it is you do. But then some of you like to do all of that, but then some of you like to sit back and relax, say, hey, this is a day for movies, particularly if it's like you have inclement weather, which will keep you indoors. That's a very good time to watch movies. So I have movies that you may like, classic movies from Turner Classic Movies, and all of that is coming up. So thank you so much again. And remember that everything that we talk about, all the views, any opinions expressed on this show, Talkback Live, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinion of the people of Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Zoom, or any kind of broadcast facility, publication, or social media outlet. Boy, it's been a long week. It's been a long week and a busy day too in the news. It's been a busy day. You've heard all about it. We'll talk a little bit about that too, if you want to talk about that as well. But it's been a pretty long week. And guess what? We're coming up slowly but surely to the weekend. It's only Thursday here. And some people who are in different time zones, maybe you're in the other side of the world, maybe you're already into your Friday, headed towards Saturday, right? Well, we didn't get there yet, but we're on our way. But we do have a weekend coming up, and I do know that in certain parts of the country, in certain parts of the world, we have this heat wave that's going on. And of course, we had they call it the first day of our heat wave that we had here in New York City, and it's pretty hot out there. It's pretty hot out there, and of course, we urge all of you people who are in the areas of heat waves to stay in cooling places. Now, some people have cooling places, like you can go to the library or some kind of federal building or something like that. I know in New York, we have plenty of cooling places that people go. Maybe they don't have air conditioning in their apartments and they just want to cool out for a while and take that quick ride or that quick zip to their favorite cooling places, which is nearest to them, and stay there for a while. They won't throw you out because they know that's what it's all about. It's a cooling center. And you could stay there, especially for the seniors. And speaking of the seniors, you want to check up on them to make sure that they're okay. If they need anything in particular and they can't make it outdoors, you may want to check up on them next door, knock on their door. If you're on your way out to the supermarket or something, maybe you want to knock on that door and find out if they need anything in particular, lend a helping hand, keep the love going, and see if they need anything. But the most important thing is everybody stay cool the best way you can. Drink plenty of fluids. Try to stay away from elements that may dehydrate. The whole key is you want to hydrate yourself. And that's the most important thing. Drink plenty of water. Plenty of water will do the trick. Okay, thank you so much again for being along with us. It's now 10 minutes past the hour. And just in case you're just waltzing here at this particular moment right now, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live, where we're all talking together. And we make sure that everybody's having a good day and a good time. And we want to spend this particular time with us. And we're so glad that you're able to take the time to spend with us. I have a little local information that I think I want to pass on to New Yorkers. Don't you guys, I know this is a show that's broadcast all over the world, but we originate from New York City. And the reason why I want to, move this information over to New York is because they may know, you may know about it. And then again, you may not know about it again, because I know when it was on the news one time, I only heard it on the news one time and never heard it again. But I don't want anyone to get caught off guard with anything. So I just want to keep you in the loop of everything. Now, that on August 20th, again, August 20th, there's going to be a fare increase. Will go up in effect across MTA, subways, buses, and commuter rails, and tolls increase on the bridges and tunnels. They will go up August 6th. So the 20th of August is for the subways and buses, for all of the crossings like the bridges and the tunnels. They take effect on August 6th. And so you want to be prepared for that. In other words, what's happening here is now you're going to have to shell out more money to get around in the city. And that's unfortunate, but that's the way sometimes it goes. Okay. Now, the proposed base fare for the subway and buses are raised to 5% from the present $2.75 to $2.90. That's what's going to cost you to ride the buses and the subway. And you'll get a 7-day ticket, and that will raise 3%, which from the present $33 to $34. And a 30-day ticket raised 4% from the present $127 to $132. You have the express bus. Of course, a lot of you come in from different parts of boroughs, and you want to ride the express bus to come into the city. Well, the express bus fares will rise 4% from the present $6.75 to $7 even. And so I know everything. I know it's expensive. And the 7-day express bus, all right, we already told you that. If you're getting the 7-day ticket, right, the 7-day ticket will raise to 3% from the present $62 to $64. And toll hikes are also coming from the MTA. Says that they're leaning toward a split option, 6% on Easy Pass. If you're driving, you get 6%, goes up 6%. Easy Pass to 10%. And well, the 10% is for mail at home credit card payments. So there you have it. Now, if I spoke too fast, I don't have time to repeat everything, but if I spoke too fast about it, what you need to do is call the MTA, get in contact with them. And first, they have a website. You can get online and get more information at new.mta.info. That's new, N-E-W, MTA info, or you can call them at 877-690-5116. That's 877-690-5116. There you go. I know it's bad. It's bad news. But what are you going to do? You try your best to make things work. And, when you think you have your finances going, everything goes up, food goes up. And, they're trying to get a handle on this. Everything goes up with a paycheck, So I don't know. We try to work things out the best way we can. We really do. Okay, a little bad news in the entertainment industry. As usual, another link in the chain was broken in the entertainment industry. Irish singer-songwriter Sinead O'Connor, who became well known in her middle 20s, was also known for her private struggles and provocative actions, as well as her fierce and expressive music, died Wednesday. She was public about her mental illness, saying that she was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. O'Connor posted a Facebook video in 2017 saying that she was living for the sake of others, and if it were up to her, she'd be gone. She had a teenage son named Shane, who died by suicide in 2022. And O'Connor tweeted, "There was no point living without him." And sooner after that, she was hospitalized, and she was 56 years old. So all of our blessings and our thoughts go out to the O'Connell family. And she was, you know, basically, that's young, 56 years old, it's young. So we just wanted to just make sure that you knew all of that. That's another link broken in our chain in the music industry. Okay, if you're just joining us again, once again, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. My name is Frank Allan, and of course, we are here right now. We're going to go. Brian is not going to be online. He's not going to be online. You're not going to see him. He's phoning in. Maybe he had a technical problem. I don't know what it is, but he's here with the latest developments of today's world of sports. Brian, how you doing?
I'm doing okay. You know, as a busy person like me, sometimes you got to be called away at the last second for assignments and things like that. So I'm sorry I can't. America and the world cannot actually, just view me tonight or see me visual. But you know, I hope my voice, for at least for tonight, will be a little bit better or easier for you to embrace. So,
okay.
Good evening to you all out there. It is 89 degrees in Charlotte, North Carolina. Wow. It's a scorcher. You know why it's a scorcher? It's so hot. How hot is it? Well, I'm glad you asked. How hot is it? It's so hot. I couldn't even breathe. Walking the streets, I had, because the weather, I mean, I don't know if it's the humidity or it's just bad air quality. But for this whole week, it was so hot, you couldn't even breathe. I had to pull over. And then, you know, from my early morning to afternoon walk, it was blistering out there. But it's still 89 degrees. How do you figure? 89 degrees, and it's 8:17 Eastern time. But anyway.
Oh boy, yeah, we had our first heat wave here today. I thought we already had it before. It was pretty hot before, but now they're saying this is the heat wave, and we almost went up to 100 degrees today here in New York.
And then when you include the humidity, it feels like it's hotter than that.
Oh boy, I hate to talk about it. I hate to talk.
Yeah, yeah, but you know, we're gonna make the best of it. Stay cool and everything, but like I said, it is 89 degrees out here in Charlotte, North Carolina, in the Queen City here in Charlotte, where the Wright brothers are the founding of flight, where they flew the first airplane out here. So this is where they're originally from, in the state of North Carolina. Let me get the sports. This thing is sports. 1959, William Shea announced his plans to have a baseball team in New York City. William Shea had owned Shea Stadium, where the New York Mets played. They opened up their stadium roughly around 1964. So he had this in the works for at least for some 5 years. So this is what happened on that day. 1983, Gaylord Perrier joined Nolan Ryan and Steve Carlton to reach 35 strikeouts. Also winning his first game in Kansas City. That's amazing. 1984, Pete Rose collects record 3,503rd career single. You know, he's the all-time hit leader, but he had a lot of singles, and this is why he has that record as well when it comes to singles. 1988, baseball star Tommy John commits 3 errors. A record 3 errors on one play. How can you make 3 errors in one play? Well, let me see. I would assume he dropped the ball, and then he threw the ball wildly, and then when the ball came back to him, he dropped it again. 3 errors in one play. That's very hard to do, but this is what he did. 1992, Houston Astros begins a 26-game road trip to begin to make room for the Republican National Convention. Yes, in 1992, that happened. That's when they was during that time of the year when they had the convention open for the Republicans and for the Democrats, and this is the day that happened. Imagine starting 26 games on the road, and because of the Republican National Convention. 1993, NBC TV awarded the 1996 Olympic coverage for $456 million. That is amazing. $486 million. Also in the news, I forgot to mention Michael Jordan received and finally sales went through. He's no longer the majority owner of the Charlotte Hornets. And 12 years ago, when he bought the team, it was $275 million. He sold it for $3 billion. So people say, did he quit on his team? No, he just made an investment. So when you spend $275 million on a team, and then you get back $3 billion 12, 13 years later, that's incredible. And the good news is that he's still part ownership. He's a minority owner, which means he don't own most of the stakes of the Hornets. So congratulations to Michael Jordan, who is recognized as the greatest basketball player of all time. Also, we got some good news, but that looked like it was kind of bad news earlier in the week that Bronny James, the son of LeBron James, went into cardiac arrest. He's 18 years old. He was enrolled going to USC this fall, and he was practicing with his teammates. He went into cardiac arrest. He's no longer in ICU, but he's in stable condition. So prayers go out to him as he makes a quick recovery. We don't know what else is going to be happening after that, or whether he's going to play again or he may not play again. We're not quite sure. Baseball, Rob Manfred, who's the commissioner, was voted to stay to keep his position as commissioner. The 30 owners voted for Major League Baseball. He will stay up until 2026. So that's where he will remain and retain his job as commissioner. Birthday today, Leo DeRocha, born in 1906. Peggy Fleming, the terrific figure skating, was born on this day 75 years ago. And Alex Rodriguez, yes, Alex Rodriguez turned 48 today, known as A-Rod. Yes, A-Rod. And ladies and women, that is sports on a hot, blistering, when I say blistering day here in the Queen City of Charlotte, North Carolina.
You know, I love the warm weather. I love the summertime, but I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to be concerned about this because, you know, we have this hot weather, this super hot weather that's all over the country, sweeping the country. And of course, I don't have to tell you about that fire that we had in Canada, you know, that wildfire that the smoke spread all over the place. And I'm starting to concern myself with it. Maybe we're talking about climate change or global warming or whatever you want to talk about. I'm kind of concerned about that now. Although I love the summer, I love the hot weather, but I'm still concerned about it.
Well, you know, it's like this, you know, whatever occurs, we just have to adapt. We have to adapt to whatever conditions are being made. You know, man always come up with things that God creates, and then man wants to have to try to take control of it. Mm-hmm. Man got to be very careful how they do approach things, you know. And I'm not trying to preach to anybody, but this is this biblical talk where, you know, we will adapt to whatever conditions we have. It is dangerous out there because of little kids could be locked up in cars. Dogs, animals could be locked up in cars.
Yeah.
And it could get really bad. So yeah, you know, you got to be very careful. And you know, parents, don't do anything ridiculous by doing what I just say. You know, come on, it's common sense. Take your time. I don't care if it's just in the store for a second. Anything can happen to a person walking into a store, and you know, you forget, and then you sidetrack it. The next thing you know, your child or your pet is stuck inside of a car where it could be anywhere between 110 and up
That's right.
degrees. So let's be smart. Let's be careful.
Yeah, take your pets. They allow pets in stores these days as long as you're holding them. You know, I've gone into supermarkets and seen people with their little puppies on the leash, walking, you know, as they're shopping. But you know, I concern myself with that. You know, the pets and the babies too as well. Take your babies, baby. You know, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. I don't do it. Anyway, I also want to acknowledge, you know, that report that you did on Bronny James. I want to, you know, take time to, you know, acknowledge that as well. I hope he's going to do fine. I hope that he will come back. You see, it just shows you that even younger people can suffer a tragedy like that. You know, you don't have to be old to have a condition like that.
Exactly. Yes.
Because,
exactly.
Yeah.
No.
So we just want to make sure, and hopefully, I hope for the wish that LeBron James said. He would like to work with his son on the court. He wants to wait for his son to come to the NBA, and he would like to work with his son, you know, on the court. I don't know if he could hold out that. I don't know if LeBron James is going to hold out that long, but he said he would like to do that. He would like to work with his son on, and you know.
That would be amazing to see, you know, for something like that. It's something that he has weighed on to try to do, you know, we just hope that, you know, first things first, that his son will be okay, not so much to play basketball, but just be okay to survive. You know, I was doing a lot of watching the news about cardiac arrest. It doesn't mean that you can have a heart attack. It means basically when you have to go into cardiac arrest, your heart can stop beating, you know. And we learned from watching the football game last season when the young man, Hamlin, I forget his first name, was hit at a certain part of his chest.
Yeah.
And it was, you know, it could have been fatal. So,
yeah. And he was only at practice when that happened. I'm talking about Bronny James.
He was on Monday Night Football when this happened.
Yeah. And I just, you know, well, I'm talking about Bronny James. He caught his cardiac arrest only by practicing. He was just practicing.
Yes, at Southern California University, USC. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I wish him the best. The good news though is that he's out of ICU.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he is. Yeah, but he's in stable condition. Of course, tests are being made, so we're going to see what happens as time will go on, and keep our prayers for Bronny James and for the James family.
Yeah.
LeBron, his wife, and the rest of the family, children as well too. Yes.
He's only 18 years old, so he's a strong kid, and I believe that he can, you know, get through this. And of course, I'm pretty sure that his mom and dad is going to make him take his time and not rush. You know, that's one of the things that young people have to understand. They don't have to rush, especially if they're that young, because they have all the time in the world. You know. So anyway, I look forward to him coming back at some point, but I just want to make sure that he's better, you know, and ready to go. Yeah. Well, listen, you know, listen, you're here. It doesn't matter. You're here. You're by way of telephone. What do you have? A special a call to come in or something?
No, I had to pick up my grandchildren at Amtrak, and you know, the train is coming in the next 20 minutes, so I didn't want to do it at home in my own studio, and then be late to pick them up. So I'm actually in front of a TV station, WSOC television here in Charlotte, and across the street where I'm at is at the Amtrak station. So I'm between Amtrak and and a news and a television station.
Yeah.
So and I'm on show with you. So all around media. Yeah.
Yeah.
All the way around.
Would you like to wish your daughter a happy birthday?
Yeah. Happy birthday to my one and only daughter, Brittany Essence Ashton Camp. Today she celebrates her birthday. She's a little queen. I spoke to her briefly. She said she feels old. I said, no, you're not. You're young and beautiful. You got genes like your mother, and with me too as well. So she's doing well. Thank you. Yes.
That's good. Okay, we'll catch you back here tomorrow morning now on the coffee hour.
Yeah, everybody stay cool. Get on the fan tonight or AC. Stay cool, everybody.
Okay, take care, Brian. Still talk to you tomorrow. Okay, that's Brian Camp, ladies and gentlemen. He came by way of telephone tonight. You already heard the story. But listen, you target, if you don't target one area, you can get to something else. That's why we're always prepared for all of these things that come down. He couldn't make it. I can't say, he kind of caught me off guard, but I was ready. I was right here. I was ready to go, and I said, okay, this is fine. Usually he'll call me prior to the show. Hey, I can't do this. I can make it by telephone, but I can't do it. That must have been Sunday. But anyway, we just got the sports in time, and he will be back tomorrow morning on the coffee hour. We'll come on tomorrow. I'll tell you more about that later as we go along. Hi, everybody. My name is Frank Allen, and right now we are experiencing what we call Talk Back Live. We talk back to you and others, and those of you who are out there. We thank you so much for being along with us. As we always say, that if you're watching us on Facebook right now, take the time right now because we have a little bit more time left. We have less than a half hour to go. And all you have to do is tag your friends, tag this show to your friends, and they'll see your notification. They'll know it's coming from you, and they'll click onto that notification, and they will be pleasantly surprised to see you while you're out here too, and talking to us and talking to others. And for those of you, again, who are watching us on YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and please do that. That's very important. We would love that. We appreciate that. It helps us out a lot. And how you subscribe to them, all you have to do is take your mouse and click it on to where it says subscribe, click it there, and that's all it takes. You don't have to pay anything, no money, no dollars are expected from you. But it will give you a notification to when we come on the air. It'll pop up, notification will pop up because of the fact that you subscribe to us. And then when we post videos or whatever we do, it'll pop up and you get to know that everything is out there. And all you have to do is just click onto the notification and it brings you right to the YouTube channel. And again, for all of you guys who are watching us on Instagram, we thank you so much for being along with us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, I gotta tell you, it's gonna be a hot one. Brian already said this. It's hot in Charlotte, North Carolina. We're hot in New York City. How's it going where you are? I don't know. But whatever it is, I hope that you stay cool, stay hydrated, and stay calm. Please stay calm. If you're kind of a person that's high strung, kind of calm it down, pull it back a little bit, for the sake of the hot weather. You don't want anything to affect that, or affect you personally with that. Okay. All right. We're so glad to have you aboard with us. And ladies and gentlemen, I think it's that time right now. We do it every week. So let's get started right now. We talk about what's happening on this day in history. And on this day in history in 1960, U.S. Vice President Richard Nixon was nominated for presidential candidate at the Republican Convention in Chicago. On this day in history, 1965, U.S. President Lyndon B. Johnson signs a bill requiring cigarette makers to print health warnings on all packages, the cigarette packages, about the effect on smoking. In 1976, former Beatle John Lennon is granted a green card for permanent residence in the U.S. Back in 1979, Broadway Opry 79 opens at St. James Theater in New York City for only 6 performances. In 1990, actress Zsa Zsa Gabor begins a 3-day jail sentence for slapping a police officer in Beverly Hills. And 1997, Henry Mancini, Leslie Bricusse And Blake Edwards' musical adoption of the film Victoria, starring Julie Andrews, closes at the Marquis Theater in New York City after 738 performances. In 2014, President Barack Obama reaffirms Israel's right to defend itself, but condemns civilian casualties in Gaza. In 2018, American singer-songwriter Neil Diamond gives a small thank you concert for firefighters near his home in Colorado. In 2020, U.S. Congressman John Lewis becomes the first Black lawmaker to lie in state in the Rotunda in Washington, D.C. In 1929, R&B singer and songwriter Harvey Fugler, he was in a group called the Moonglows with the big hit Sincerely. He was born in Louisville, Kentucky. He died 2010, but he was born on this day in 1929. In 1931, actor Jerry Van Dyke, that's the brother of Dick Van Dyke, was born in Danville, Illinois, and he passed away 2018. In 1943, actor comedian Stu Gilliam was born in Detroit, Michigan. He passed away 2013. In 1944, singer-songwriter Bobby Gentry was born in Chickasaw County, Mississippi. She's 79 years old today. That's the lady, if you don't remember her, she was the one that made that great recording, the Tallahassee Bridge, Billy Joel. Billy Joel jumped off the Tallahassee Bridge. Okay, we move along. Singer Maureen McGovern was born on this day in 1949 in Youngstown, Ohio, and she's 74 years old today. In 1941, singer-actress Judy Garland weds David Rose, musician David Rose, band leader. They got divorced in 1944. In 1990, singer Bobby Day with the big hit Rockin' Robin. He died of cancer back at the age of 58 years old. Bob Hope died on this day in 2003 at the age of 100 years old. God bless him, I should live so long. And you never know. He was born May 29th, 1930. He was born in Althams, London, England. In 2021, doo-wop singer Wooly Winfield, he sang with a group called the Heart Tones. He died of a heart attack at the age of 91 years old. And finally, actor Tony Dow, who played Wally Cleaver on Leave It to Beaver. He died of cancer at the age of 77 years old. And that's this day in history. We had so much to talk about that. And if you know anything that's happening on this day in history, please let us know. If I didn't mention it, maybe I didn't get it, maybe I didn't know it, let us know. And of course, we'll put it out there for you. We'll let everybody else know what's happening on this day in history. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for dropping by and staying with us and being part of what we do here on Talk Back Live. Got to tell you, we're here every Thursday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern. Everything that we do is Eastern, so you act accordingly. We're Eastern and you may be something else. Just act accordingly. Anyway, we indulge in conversation. And if you'd like to be part of us as well, all you have to do is type in and we will, if I see you out there, and I will see you out there, we will acknowledge you. And if anything you want to talk about in particular, we talk everything from soup to nuts. If you want to talk soup, we'll talk soup. If you want to talk nuts, we'll talk nuts. If you want to be nuts, we'll be nuts. I don't know, you know. Anyway, thank you so much for being along with us. So many things are happening on this week. And later on, before the show is over, we're going to talk to you about those movies. It's not too far away. We're not going to be too far away from that. We've got movies we want to talk about. I plan it each week. So what I do is that I go to Turner Classic Movies and pick out my choice of the week. And it's only my choice. And I relay them to you because on the weekend, you may do something that you normally do, but then again, you may want to add something to your bucket list of what to do. And one of the things that you may want to do is watch movies, catch up on some old movies. There are plenty of movies to catch up on. I know a lot of sporting events are coming along and people are going out and doing things like that. And if you're living in the New York area, of course, you already know that You got Coney Island, and you got all of these other fine places where you can go out and just have a good time. But we'll talk about those movies a little later on as the program progress. Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to take time at this moment, and you probably heard the story. I was kind of shocked and frightened for him, and I hope he's going to be doing all right. You heard about Mitch O'Connor, and we want to put our politics aside. Okay, we want to do that. Yeah, he experienced an episode yesterday. Now, a lot of you may have not seen it in real time, but they showed it on the news continuously yesterday and today. And he was in I guess he was in mid-speech. He was at the podium, and he was like in the middle of his speech, and all of a sudden he starts to freeze. And some people counted a few seconds different. I counted 21 or 22 seconds. Some people count 19. Some people say a little bit under 10 seconds, a little bit over 10 seconds, but I counted 22 seconds. And you probably seen it. And he was in the middle of the speech, and all of a sudden he freezes, and he had to stare. And they kind of zoomed on him, the camera zoomed on him, and he was just staring. And after the 22 seconds, there was a doctor standing nearby, and some of his aides were standing around him, and they were asking him if he had any more to say. And that kind of snapped him out of it. When somebody spoke to him, that snapped him out of it. And if he wanted to say something else, and then they just walked up. But later on, a few minutes later, he came back. I was told that he came back, he was as normal as can be. He answered questions. He continued whatever he was doing, and he answered questions to the people. He talked to the media. The media were concerned about him. They asked him how he was doing. He was doing fine. He also alluded to the fact that the president called him to see how he was doing, which I thought was very nice. And we should all do that. You know, you may not agree with Mitch McConnell's politics, and you may agree with his politics, but that doesn't matter what the politics is. We're putting all of that to the side, and let's say our prayers for him. And hopefully that, we don't even know. They're not even releasing a lot of things. I don't know if they're actually releasing. Maybe they're hush-hush about a few things. Maybe they want to find out more. I'm pretty sure that the doctors looked after him. And because you already know he had an episode, he had a couple of falls, right? And there was one fall in Washington, D.C. in a hotel room. He kind of took a fall, and I guess maybe a couple of days before this event yesterday, he had another fall. So, and Mitch McConnell is 81 years old, I'm told, 81 years old. So I hope he's fine. I really hope he's fine. I hope everything is fine. And again, I want to thank the President of the United States, Joe Biden, for checking in on him and finding out that he's okay. And I hope this, teaches us all a lesson, no matter what politics that you agree with or disagree with. We want to uphold each other, and so my prayers and thoughts go out to Mitch McConnell. I hope he's feeling better. I really do. Hope everything is fine. 345/666 Beast Incarnate. Now we go downhill here. 345/666 Beast Incarnate. His lawyers met today. You heard about that, right? His lawyers met with a special counsel today, and guess what? Jack Smith also charged him with two more counts of obstruction. Now, what is that? Is that what, 39 now, or 40 counts? I'm not sure. I think it's 39. I heard someone else say 40. I'm not sure, but it's somewhere in there. And so they met, their meeting days is always on Tuesday and Thursday. So they didn't do anything Tuesday. And so they had to wait till Thursday. And Thursday, they still didn't, they met, but they didn't vote on anything. So we still have to wait around. We're keeping our eyes open tomorrow. We don't know what's going to happen. Maybe they'll have a special calling, but I guess the situation was so significant that they had to just wait. And who knows, maybe it'll happen tomorrow, but I know they'll be meeting again for sure on Tuesday. And if it's not that Tuesday, then it's Thursday. The point is that the courts told him, they delivered the message to his lawyers, is that look for an indictment. So he's going to be, it's almost a sure thing that he's going to be indicted for the third time. And this time for 39 or 40 counts. And that's for obstruction of justice. And there was another situation that they found another witness that they're going to bring in, but this is I think he was like a handyman or something. I don't know. I mean, he worked with the pool or something. What was his name? Carlos Oliveira. Carlos Oliveira, I think his name was. And I think he was like a handyman or something, or maybe he worked. I know he was working in the pool. He was draining the pool or something. I don't know. I don't know what his job was. It was one of those small jobs, nothing big, But anyway, the point is that they're taking him. They tracked him, and he's being charged with conspiracy. All right. Now, I don't know too much about that story. I just learned more about that just before I went on the internet. I have to learn more about it so I can talk more intelligently about it. And probably if I find out more, maybe, and if we have the time tomorrow on tomorrow's show, maybe we can talk about it then. But yes, it's been a long day for the people. The grand jury are going to meet again for sure Tuesday. For sure, unless, of course, they call them in for a special event tomorrow. They're keeping an eye out for tomorrow, but maybe not. But for sure, they're going to be meeting again on Tuesday. We meet every Tuesday and Thursday. But, he's going to be indicted, if not this week, which most likely will probably be the following week after that. If not this week, then the following week after that, he will be indicted again for the third time. 345/666 Beast Incarnate. And, here's a man that, he's not sleeping good at night, folks. I can tell you that right now. And to prove that, 345/666 Beast Incarnate. Of course, you already heard it, made that video. And to plead to Congress, by the way, he has no respect for Congress. He pleads to Congress to investigate, as he would call it, the witch hunt against him. Everything is against him, the witch hunt. Ever since he came down the escalators, they were after me. They were doing this, they're after me. And then he brings Joe Biden into the case. They don't want to investigate Joe Biden and Hunter Biden or anything like this. This is not even about Joe Biden or Hunter Biden or like that. We're talking about you, 345/666 Beast Incarnate. We're talking about you. You're the fish in the pond right now. Or a whale for whatever, but yeah, he put that video out, and I found it laughable, because it was basically the same thing. Now, here's a man that goes to Congress who, by the way, he has no respect for Congress. Remember when he was inaugurated, the first time he was inaugurated, well, it was only one time because he only held the office for one time. And he was inaugurated. And when you're inaugurated, you have to put your hands on the Bible and lift your one hand on the Bible, which is usually the left hand on the Bible, and your right hand up. And you have to swear. You have to be sworn in. And he had sworn to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States, of course. And the reason why I say he has no respect for Congress, because he already said it. If he runs for president again, he's running as a dictator. All right. He wants to abolish the Constitution. And of course, he wants to put Congress to the side. He wants to throw Congress out the window. All right. And so if you're going to go back and you're going to talk about, well, you know something, Congress, you know, Congress, if you're listening, please do investigate these people. They're taking me through this witch hunt. That's his favorite word, witch hunt, you know, and they won't investigate Joe Biden or Hunter Biden, but they're tackling me ever since I came down the escalators. Folks, I said it maybe I have to say it each week. Maybe it didn't penetrate to some of the MAGA maggots who may be watching. I don't know if they're watching. I hope they're watching. You know, I welcome everyone here. But the MAGA maggots who, you know, there's no hope talking to them. I would keep repeating it until you get it through your head. That you probably won't, but I'll repeat it anyway. The story is, and this is my prediction. This is not. I guess you can call it a tea leaf, right? A tea leaf. All right. And that's kind of like predicting, you know, the fate and, you know, where a person is going, you know. So I'm going to go tea leaf here. I'm going to go tea leaf here. It's just not gospel, but I'm going to go tea leaf here. My thing is that, of course, we already know that DeSantis is not going to do anything. He's not going to go anywhere. We already know that. He's not going anywhere. So therefore, 345/666 Beast Incarnate, he is going to kick butt in the primaries. So he's a front runner. He's a front runner. Everybody else, forget about it. All of these people, DeSantis and 345/666 Beast Incarnate, those are the two guys. The rest of them, I don't see anyone else here. So they keep running. You know, they keep going. Tim Scott and the rest of them, you know, forget about them. Okay, just forget about them. It's DeSantis and 345/666 Beast Incarnate. And so if it's those two, we already know that 345/666 Beast Incarnate is going to take down DeSantis. And what's going to happen eventually, it's going to be between 345/666 Beast Incarnate and Joe Biden all over again. And again, to you MAGA maggots, what's going to happen, my prediction, tea leaf, is that he is going to beat 345/666 Beast Incarnate in the general election. And the only reason why, of course, you already know why he wants to do that. And you could spin it any way you want. You could say, oh, no, that's not true. He's none of that. He's not doing that. The only reason why he's running for office, he doesn't care about the office. He doesn't care about you. He definitely doesn't care about me. And he doesn't have any respect for the office itself. The only reason why he's running because he wants to stay his tail out of jail. I'm a poet and don't even know it. So he wants to stay out of that, which, by the way, he's going to go anyway. It doesn't even matter. So this is my prediction, tea leaf. This is my prediction, is that he's going anyway, and he's not going to be what you guys would like to say, our president, my president, you know. And listen, I say these things, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong, and I'm not going to say I'm not wrong, and I'm not going to say I am wrong. But these are my predictions, and we'll see it again. And if I have to repeat that each week until you get it, we'll see what happens. So, and once it happens, I'm not going to sit back and say, I told you so. But I told you so. Okay, and two, oh boy, we got news galore here. Rudy Giuliani admitted he sprawled the lie about Georgia election workers. He famously accused of trying to rig the 2020 election for President Joe Biden. And the workers, of course, you remember them, right? The mother and the daughter, Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss, you know. And of course, you know, they were already targeted by 345/666 Beeston Carter. They got phone threats and people threatened to do harm to them, all of that. And so, you know, we reap what we sow. Giuliani is no longer practicing in New York. And eventually they'll probably take away, they'll probably disbar him, period. But so he finally comes out and say this. But there's a lot. And as they always say, you know, keep your eye open, your ears open, you know, and strap in, because it's going to be a bumpy ride, a real bumpy ride. Thank you so much for being with us on Talk Back Live. And of course, movies, my picks of the week, still have them. Now, I only have one this week. All right. And but these are my picks of the week. And I always pick out movies for you to watch, because I want you to add to your bucket list of what to watch in case, you know, you're looking for movies, you want to catch up on some old movies to watch. And of course, you do the regular routines that you do on the weekends. Everybody do whatever they do on the weekends. But if one of your things is just catching up on movies, well, let me add one to your list, all right? Your bucket list of what to watch. This is a classic, a black and white classic, goes back to 1948. It's called Key Largo. Key Largo, starring Humphrey Bogart, Edward G. Robinson, and Lauren Bacall, or Betty Bacall. All right, as Humphrey Bogart said before he died, you call her Betty, that means she's sore at you. Don't call her Betty, she'll get sore at you. Anyway, so this is a great movie. Of course, it's a classic movie that comes on Turner Classic Movies, and you can check that. That comes on Saturday afternoon at 2 p.m. Eastern. That's Key Largo with Humphrey Bogart, Edward G. Robinson, and Laura Bacall. That's my only pick of the week. Now, there may be more. And I only picked that one because that's my pick of the week. But if you go to Turner Classic Movies and scroll down and go to the program guide and look up other things that may be there that are upcoming as well, and you say, okay, you know, he didn't mention that. That wasn't his pick. That's not because I didn't like it. Only this is my pick. But listen, it's right there for you to enjoy. That's why I always guide you through it and let you know that if you want to see something else more than that, there may be something else that you may like. And you may see something and you may want to DVR it if you can't watch it in real time. I never give you movies that's going to overlap anything. I don't want to give you those kind of movies. I want you to see all of the movies in an entirety. And then the other movies that you see, you can DVR them if you don't have time to see them in real time, and watch them at your very own convenience. There are other things too. If you go on demand, you'll see movies from the past, movies that you haven't seen in a long time, movies that may jog your memory. They got them right there from A to Z, and you can watch them. You can't DVR them because they're right there. Now, those movies stay there. They give you the date on when they will expire. They expired at a certain time because they want to make moves for more movies. They want to make room for more movies and put them up there. But they kind of recycle them all, so you might see it again and again and again. But you can go there and watch them. And if you like sports, go to demand following day. If you missed your sport, like I like wrestling, you can find it there the following day, depending on what network it is. And of course, you'll get a chance to see it. And sometimes without the commercials, sometimes, not all the time, sometimes. And then there are a lot of other networks that you can see, soap operas. If you miss those, you can catch them. You have like children programs, and you have other things to watch, documentaries, news items, everything. It's right there on demand. So let me repeat that movie once again. It's Key Largo from 1948, and it stars Humphrey Bogart, Edward G. Robinson, Lauren Bacall, and that's on Turner Classic Movies. And you can check it out this Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern, right there on Turner Classic Movies. Well, folks, that's going to end things for me for today. I enjoyed having you along with us. I hope that you will join me back here tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern, and we'll have the coffee hour. I will be here. Brian Camp will be here with the latest developments in today's world of sports. We'll talk more sports. Hopefully, we'll have him here and you can actually see him this time around. Of course, I hope that you'll be here. And if not, we'll be back here next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern for more of Talk Back Live. Brian Camp, of course, for sports. And he'll be here and he'll give you the latest developments in today's world of sports. We look forward to seeing you either way. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a great day and a good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and a pleasant good night. And I'll see you soon. Take care.
You've been watching Talk Back Live with your host Frank Allen. The producer is Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stenke. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Talk Back Live.